The one-child policy in China is a policy that was formally established on September 30th, 1980. It was created to limit China's population since the population was growing so large that the carrying capacity of the country was getting overwhelmed. Even though China holds only 7% of the world's land, they had almost a quarter of the world's population. The policy states that parents must sign up for a permit to have a child and that everyone except for few exceptions could have only one child.
What should we do for our global project?
I don't know. Ninjas?
No. What about Asian candy?
We could do China's one-child policy.
No!
Well, what should we do?
I know, we could do Korean pop. Bring back My Little Ponies, am I right? You know what? Never mind.
But China's one-child policy is so fascinating.
Yeah, I learned about this in Global.
Ew, you pay attention in that class?
Yeah. I'm always falling asleep. I did learn about this in class, Ashley. I'll show you how much I learned. The one-child policy helped provide enough food, water, and jobs for all of the citizens. The Chinese government got its citizens to follow the one-child policy by many different ways. The government would give families that obeyed this rule financial gifts, better jobs, and many other perks. If families still refused to follow this act, the government would punish them harshly. They would often force abortions or sterilizations onto women. Also, they would even put kids into isolated rooms and slowly starve them to death.
How did I get here? Oh, well, I have some information to add. Zhang Yimou, a father of 3 children, had to pay a fine of about $1.2 million in 2014 since he had more than one child. Because of this strict policy, many couples wanted a son to carry on the family name and property. Baby girls were even killed so a boy infant could be born. Since many men and women desired a boy, in China, killing infants was 27% higher for girls than boys. About 120 boys were born for every 100 girls. Before the policy ended, there was about 34 million more men than women.
Kellen, this is my thought bubble. Get out! There were a few exceptions to the policy. Families who had a handicapped child first were allowed 2 children, depending on what part of China they lived in. No matter what, the policy was still very stern, but it was harsher in the cities than the countrysides. The one-child policy caused there to not be enough women in the world for marriages. It also caused there to be too many elders in China, but it did cause many females to be adopted in the U.S.
I'm fine with anything. We need to decide.
Again, how about the one-child policy?
It doesn't sound that bad, and it's the most unique after all.
I'd rather do a happier topic.
But some aspects of the policy are happy. As many people know, adoption of Chinese children is very popular in the US and all over the world for couples who are infertile or just want to give a child a better home. To adopt a child, people must apply 18 months ahead of time and they need to fill out tons of paperwork, not to mention all the courses they must take. However, seeing their child happy and loved makes it all worth it. 91% of all adopted children from China are girls, and 70% of the adopters are American. Adopted children make up about 2% of all American children.
We could do traditions! Maybe we could do martial arts?
We actually need to pick a topic, though.
All in favor of the one-child policy?
Me.
Yeah.
But sure. Wait, you're in favor of the one-child policy? Yeah, it's like so cool.
How did you know that?
It came to me in a dream. Okay then.
Alright.
Oh my.
In 2008, Chinese officials began to formulate a plan to phase out the one-child policy. The country faced a low fertility rate and a large amount of elderly citizens, which meant the country was spending too much money on expensive health services for them. Most of the change was fueled by a need to rebuild their economy. They also faced a large imbalance in the ratio of girls to boys. As of October 29, 2015, China allowed 2 children to each couple. China is now on its way to a new and better country with more births, fueling a new era of growth.
So what do you think?